marhaban, which means hello in Arabic, and ahlan wa sahlan, which means welcome. So, welcome all. In this session, we will be discussing about joining letters from Jim to Za and exercise questions. So, let us now look on to the letter Jim. In the case of Jim, Jim joins in three different ways. As you can see in the first example Jamal, Jim joins as a starting or the initial letter. And in the second example Shajra, Jim joins as a middle joining letter. And in the third example Felch, Jim joins as the ending letter. So now you can see that Jim joins in three different ways. In the case of the letter Ha joins in three different ways. As you can see in the first example, Hisan, Ha joins as the initial letter, and in the second example, Nahla, Ha joins as the middle joining letter, and in the third example, Milh, Ha joins as the ending letter. So you can see Ha joins in three different ways. In the case of the letter Ha also joins in three different ways. As you can see in the first example Khiyar, Kha joins as the initial letter. And in the second example Nakhla, Kha joins as the middle joining letter. And in the third example Batikh, Kha joins as the ending letter. So now you can see that Kha also joins in three different ways. In the case of the letter Dal joins in two different ways. That is, as you can see in the first example, Daraja, Da joins as the initial letter. But in the case of the second example, Madrasa, Da joins as a middle joining letter. But it can also join as the normal ending letter. In the case of the letter Dal, as you can see in the first example, Dura, Dal joins as a starting letter. But in the second example Tilmiz, Dal joins as a middle joining letter. But it can also join as an isolated or a normal ending letter. So, Dal joins in two different ways. In the case of the letter Ra also joins in two different ways. As you can see in the first example Ramal, Ra joins as a starting or the initial letter. And in the second example Jaras, Ra joins as a middle letter. But Ra also can join as an isolated ending letter. In the case of the letter Za also joins in two different ways. As you can see in the first example Zahra, Za joins as a starting letter, and in the second example Azal, Za joins as a middle joining letter. But Za also joins as an isolated or a normal ending letter. Let us now move on to the exercise.